Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this prayerful pause of the pastor. I've been really mindful of the horrible situation with all of the flooding and tornadoes, loss of life, everything that came with Hurricane Ian recently. And something struck me. It was the statement that in 6 inches of water, your car can stall out. With 12 inches of water, your car can be swept away. And I was thinking then about the fire trucks, for instance, and rescue vehicles that are so much higher. And one firehouse was saying that because they had 20 inches of rain, they couldn't take the fire trucks out either. But that normally fire trucks would be able to go because you might have 6 inches, but usually, and even 12, but you usually don't have 20 or 24 inches of water. And it got me thinking about our faith and how sometimes we just don't have the faith that's needed for the item at hand, whatever the challenge is at hand. We might have a vehicle that's okay with 3 inches of water, but not with 9 inches. And I think there are some of us who have kind of a prayer life or a spiritual life it's okay for the everyday stuff, but then it falls apart with the big stuff, And I was talking with a friend of mine who has lived through many floods here and abroad, as well as hurricanes and tornadoes, which I never have. The extent of my bad weather is the national emergency that we had with the ice storm here 30 years ago, and ice storms and blizzards and those kinds of things, but nothing compared to these other. We don't have earthquakes, we don't have forest fires, and so I can only imagine that some people who experience those kinds of national weather-related incidents over which we have no control, right? That they might have a different understanding of prayer to get them through these things, or they've practiced it in different ways. And that made me think about these different vehicles and what is my faith certified for? Is my faith certified at the 3-inch water level or at the 20-inch water level? We've been through different things in our lives, right? And some of them require heavy-duty prayer, cancer diagnoses, or life-altering illnesses, COVID, automobile accidents, or other kinds of accidents and trauma. I think they develop a different level of faith within us. And I'm convinced that faith and prayer is kind of like an insurance policy. You do it and you get the relationship with God when you don't necessarily need it, so that it is there when you need it, so that you don't think twice about how you're going to have that conversation with God, or about how you're going to turn things over to God, or how you are inviting Spirit in to take care of you. It's just second nature by that time, if you're doing it all the time, even when you don't need it. It's like going to the doctor when you're not sick, having wellness visits. It's also like I picked out in my 20s, I picked out a therapist that I wanted to go to before I really needed therapy. But then by the time I did, boy, we had this great rapport. And that therapist knew my history, knew everything about me. So it's just kind of prophylactic thinking, thinking ahead so that we can take care of ourselves, being intentional toward taking care of ourselves. And so I just toss that out there for you to think about today as a means of looking at your own faith journey and your own spiritual life. Where are you? Are you acting in a way that will serve you well if you have need of it in the future? And if not, start. It's never too late to start, and it's really easy. You just start talking to God, right? There's No big deal about it. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to wear special clothes. You don't have to get in a certain position. You don't have to use holy language. It's just you talking to the creative force of the universe, talking to the spirit that is around you. So I encourage you to do that today, and we'll talk more about other things another time. Thanks for joining me for this Prayerful Pause with the Pastor. I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South and Irondequoit Presbyterian Churches in Rochester, New York. And until next time, we'll see you later. Take care. God bless. Bye for now.